Welcome to the Keystone Education Report, where Pennsylvania's education leaders come together to address the key issues shaping our schools. In this episode, we're going to explore Pennsylvania's career pipeline, and our guests will share insights on how to support students as they prepare for life after graduation. We're going to begin our conversation with Representatives Justin Fleming and Representative Chad Reichard. Representative Fleming was elected in November of 2022 to represent the 105th Legislative District, and Representative Reichard serves the 90th Legislative District in Pennsylvania's House of Representatives. Gentlemen, thank you both for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan.
Let's talk about the career pipeline. Let me start by asking each of you about your districts and the employers that you have and what their needs are, because I think that drives a lot of what we talk about in terms of what they're looking for in the pipeline.
Yeah, so down in the 90th in southern Franklin County, we have a lot of manufacturing, so welders. I mean, it seems like a lot of our manufacturers are just trading welders amongst each other. And, you know, as we see with a lot of these career jobs, these technical jobs, we have folks that are retiring, right? They're aging out, and we don't have the workforce, graduating with the skills needed to replace them. So, I mean, but beyond that, I mean, we need, plumbers, we need electricians, we need carpenters, we need nurses. I mean, there is a whole host of these skilled labor positions, and there's help wanted signs. I mean, if you have the certifications, and you can pretty much name your price whenever you walk in there, and these are good family sustaining jobs. So, absolute need down in the 90th.
How about your district?
Yeah, in our district, well, the government's the largest employer. We are just in the shadow of the Capitol building,
right.
So my district office is about 15 minutes away, and so a lot of government, but a lot of healthcare as well. You see a lot of urgent cares popping up, specialty clinics, phlebotomy, places where you can go to get a blood test or labs drawn and things like that. So it's a really diverse array of business interests. We do have some manufacturing, but a lot of it is office work mostly, the nonprofit sector. But I'd say, for us, the government is the largest employer, but still as part of that, we are blessed to have the Dauphin County Technical School in my district, and it has been a game changer for a bunch of students who have taken advantage of it. And I think we were talking off the air before we started. I mean, the message that you have to go to college in order to be successful is gone. And quite frankly, over the 25, 30 years that was the mantra, and by the way, everyone was in on it. It was parents, it was teachers, it was administrators, everyone saying, oh, you have to get a 4-year degree, otherwise you won't be employable. That was a fiction. And so I'm glad we're finally seeing now that career and technical education is really critical to be able to build a future in life. And so we just need to make the needed investments to allow our CTCs to thrive.
So I hear both of you saying the demand is there, the needs are there, maybe a little different makeup in your communities. But when you think about the broader statewide pipeline for these kinds of jobs, how is it today statewide? And if we're coming up short, what can we do to get more students to make these choices?
Yeah.
I mean, I've toured a couple career and technical schools, just in the short time that I've been in office, this past year. And the consistent theme that I hear from every single one of them is they have a wait list.
That's right.
There are students, there are, young men and women who want these spots, that want these seats in these schools. And there just isn't enough, and there aren't enough instructors, there aren't enough seats, there aren't enough resources to go around to get them in there. And it's a tragedy really on our part that we have the interest, we have the demand, we just don't have the ability to get them through and again start to fill these positions as we see more and more people retire.
So a capacity issue.
Exactly.
Chad's exactly right. And I'll just say on the policy side, I've toured about 5 or 6 career and tech centers throughout the state, not only here in my district, but Bucks County, Center County, in work I did before as an advocate at Pennsylvania Partnerships for Children. And, Chad's exactly right. We do have capacity issues. One thing the state could do better is just funnel more funding to those career and technical centers so they can accept more students. That's part of the issue as well. I mean, every time we try to infuse funding into career and technical education, we have to change a formula. And so, and that has to be, as hard as it is to pass legislation, that has to be changed each and every single time. Now, I do think the Commonwealth has done a good job on equipment grants. So those are the two main funding lines, the main funding line for career and tech centers, and then an equipment grant line, which allows the career and technical centers to purchase the latest and greatest equipment that, say, if you're studying dental hygiene, or if you're going into masonry or landscaping or automotive, any number of the great programs that they offer, you know, they can purchase new equipment and learn on the best equipment, or a lot of times manufacturers will donate, you know, equipment that's still able to be used so they can learn on it. And that's such a huge advantage to come out of school having learned on the equipment that's being used now.
Right. Both of you represent kind of, I'll say, southern part of Pennsylvania's districts, and you know, are the needs a little different as we get up maybe into the northern tier, farther east, farther west? Is there an issue around making sure that the capacity is as easily available in the rural part of the state as, I'm going to call your district more suburban, maybe. You're definitely suburban, almost urban. You know, but do we need to worry about, do we address somehow this capacity issue more broadly and make sure that students anywhere in Pennsylvania have access?
Yeah, and I think, you know, we have some colleagues that have population, or districts that have populations declining, but there's still a need. I mean, there's still a need for carpenters, still a need for electricians. You know, a lot of, I was up in the northwestern part of PA a couple weeks ago, and you know, a lot of oil and gas production up that way. I mean, they need people to be able to service the machinery. They need diesel mechanics. They need skilled labor positions, and those guys are crying for people too. Yeah. I mean, you know, every single skilled labor industry, or every facet of the industry of our economy is screaming for these skilled labor people.
Yeah, and I'll say it does require coordination on a number of different fronts. You know, I'm tied in with the Central Pennsylvania Building and Construction Trades, who certainly have a role to play in this area. I think the Department of Labor and Industry has done a nice job with their workforce investment boards to identify high priority occupations on a regional basis, right? Because as you pointed out, Nathan, we do have vast differences depending on where you go, Northeast PA versus Northwest, Southeast, et cetera. You know, there are the jobs that are in demand are, you know, are vast because, you know, down here, as you mentioned, we don't need oil and gas jobs, or very many of them here, whereas in the northern tier, you need that. Usually, you need those oil and gas positions. You know, Venango County is Oil City, right where our resource production started. Yeah. So I think there's been a decent effort there, but we could always improve it. And I think, you know, I know we're talking about career and technical education, but I don't want to, you know, you can, if you still want a 4-year educational pathway, you can do that too. So it's not like, it doesn't have to be this either or proposition where you go to a career and tech center and you don't go to college. I have great family friends who, you know, both of their oldest children just graduated from Dauphin County Technical School. They're both pursuing higher education, one at Temple and one at IUP. So it's not an either or proposition. You can still chart your path, but you know, allowing you to get those certifications, like Chad said, and go right into the workforce, that's incredible. And then, you know, you ply your trade, and then maybe you can start your own business. So I just love the options that career and tech centers give our students.
Well, to your point, Justin, I was talking with a gentleman who works in he's a machinist in a fabricating company, and his son was going to college. His son was going to be an English major, but he apprenticed with dad, so he was a certified machinist, right? So in the summers, he was going in, working in the shop, making more money than anybody else. And if the English route didn't work out for him, he had a backup as a machinist. Exactly. I mean, it's that sort of either. It doesn't have to be an either or. It can be a both, and they can complement each other. And you have a much more well-rounded individual. I mean, I'd love to better my carpentry skills. I mean, it's pretty shameful right now, but you know, so the thing of it is that you can do both, and to your point, I mean, yes, you can pursue a 4-year degree, but there's always that opportunity to have that backup, or there's a primary degree.
So 100%. If I hear you both, we're talking, you know, it's a capacity issue, right? The system maybe doesn't have enough room quite yet for everybody that wants in. I think to your point, it's a bit of a funding issue. And then it sounds like it's a coordination issue.
Yes.
You're talking about the need to find these multiple pathways
Right.
to get people there. I want to touch on maybe a fourth area. We're talking a lot about students that are getting ready to enter either the workforce or continue their education and fill these needs. What about the ones that have already graduated, either from a four-year program, they've gone through a great technical program, they're out there, and they're thinking about leaving the state?
Yeah.
You know, are we still in a position in Pennsylvania where we're hemorrhaging the talent that we need? And is that part of the problem with, I'll pick on employers in your area for that welder? Is it, you know, one, we're not providing enough, but two, are we losing welders to other states? And what can we do as a Commonwealth at the state level to try and, you know, cut off that flow of talent exiting?
Yeah.
Well, I know, obviously, you know, as you know, when you're 18, you don't know what you want to be when you grow up. I mean, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up, right? But, you know, we look around at folks that might have, you know, not have gone to college or might have not, you know, gotten those technical degrees when they were 18, but, you know, here they are, they're, you know, in their 20s and 30s, and they have a family, they have rent, they have mortgage. I mean, they can't take a break from having an income, right? I mean, they need that steady stream coming in. And one of the ideas that I've been kicking around was paid apprenticeships for these folks, so that, you know, while they're getting these certifications to fill these roles that we need, they might be able to have some sort of a stipend or something like that from the employer who would hire them. But to your point, I mean, you know, we focus a lot on, you know, the kids in middle school and high school who are going through these programs, but there's absolutely a lot of folks that are looking for maybe a second or third career opportunity, and I think our career and technical education schools are, you know, at a perfect point to be able to, if they have capacity, to bring them in as well. So yeah, I mean, so someone told me once is that, you know, education doesn't stop in high school or college. I mean, if you're a lifelong learner, there's always opportunity. Yeah. And for folks that might be wanting to explore a different route, I think we should try to help them out as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about brain drain here since the 1990s, right? Since the Ridge administration. And unfortunately, we haven't put the steps in place. I mean, there are things we could do, particularly for those, you know, seeking a four-year degree. The Pennsylvania Promise is a great idea, sponsored by Representative Harris and Representative Davidson in the House and Senator Hughes in the Senate, you know, providing stipends to students, more funding so they can afford college and then stay here afterward. But I have to say it goes to market issues as well. Every one of our neighboring states, including West Virginia, has a higher minimum wage. So you look at an issue like that, and just because of that fact, the market's going to bear more. There are going to be higher wages in these other states. And, you know, we can see through the census data, unfortunately, Pennsylvania is growing, but not at the rate that some other states are. And so, you know, anything we can do to keep our talented people in the state, whether they're, you know, working with their hands or whether they're pursuing a four-year degree, we need to, we owe it to ourselves as a Commonwealth to make those policy decisions and do that.
Well, and I was just saying, Justin, to your point, I mean, we're facing demographic challenges in PA, and that's going to be reflected in our budget coming forward. Yeah. I mean, we're unfortunately we're exporting, you know, working age folks, and we're importing seniors, and, you know, it's great that we're you know, a great place to retire, but we also want to have
state to retire.
Exactly, but we also want to have the workforce here to be able to care for those folks as they're moving in. And we want to retain that talent because, you know, those are the folks that are contributing towards the, you know, the state income tax, and they're raising families. I mean, all the other stuff that goes along with it. It's really a domino effect. So yeah, I mean, whatever we can do to cast a net, you know, keep them here and, you know, attract more. I mean, that should be a top priority for us as lawmakers.
Absolutely.
Well, gentlemen, thank you both for being here. It sounds like an area that we can all agree on the need, a lot of solutions, and maybe we'll see some bipartisan legislation from the two of you champions.
Look forward to it. Yes.
Absolutely.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Nathan.
Excellence isn't just a goal, it's a standard. The Great PA Schools GPS designation honors Pennsylvania public schools that go above and beyond, where rigorous academics, strong community ties, financial responsibility, and resilience come together. Today, we're highlighting one of our GPS ribbon recipients, Parkland School District. Parkland High School, the fourth largest in Pennsylvania, serves over 3,400 students. It offers a diverse curriculum with 162 electives, 49 dual enrollment courses, including 7 world languages and 38 arts courses, 30 AP courses, and 3 career pathways in biomedical science, computer science, and engineering. This year, an 85,000 square foot addition is breaking ground, featuring 28 general classrooms, 11 science labs, 2 learning support classrooms, 2 engineering labs, a robotics lab, an expanded art lab drawing room, a foods lab, and 9 small group instruction collaboration spaces. We're looking for the next great Pennsylvania school district. Visit greatpaschools.com to share your success story or apply for the GPS ribbon.
We're continuing our conversation around Pennsylvania's career pipeline, and I'm joined by 2 guests. In his role as President of External Affairs, David Kerr leads AT&T's public policy and community and philanthropic initiatives throughout the states of Pennsylvania and West Virginia. Amelia Matucci is the Executive Director of the Pennsylvania School Counselors Association, PSCA, and a longtime secondary school counselor at East Allegheny High School. Thank you both for taking the time to talk about this.
Great. Thank you.
Let's jump in. I want to start on the business side. We talked about that with our legislative panel. AT&T must have some strong needs around making sure that you've got a solid pipeline of folks coming in to work for the company. What are the needs and what's the demand look like from the company right now?
We do have a lot of needs and a lot of demands in a lot of different areas, Nathan. Everything from our retail, which is probably what a lot of people think about with our footprint, but engineers, network engineers, those types of positions. But probably the biggest area we're hiring right now across the country is around cybersecurity and security of networks. So probably we're hiring thousands of cybersecurity employees on a regular basis. So it's just intense need there, and something that we and others in our industry have.
And when we talk about the high school environment and preparing kids for this sort of thing, are you seeing a lot of kids that want to look at alternative career pathways other than a 4-year degree in college, that are looking at some of these engineering opportunities? Last segment we talked a little bit about the demands across the northern tier with the oil refineries and things like that. Is that something a lot of students are looking at right now?
I believe so. I don't think that it's an automatic anymore that students are just going to go to a 4-year college. Student loans are a huge topic right now, and many students are afraid of being saddled with debt that they have for years after they graduate. Students now are more looking for hands-on things that they can do fairly quickly, and things that are more concrete that they can handle, pretty much as soon as they graduate. They want the training to be able to get out and work, and I see that more and more lately.
Kind of representing both sides of the spectrum. You're hopefully getting kids ready to move into some of these opportunities, and you're looking for kids that want those opportunities. What can businesses and schools do collaboratively to strengthen this pipeline, to make sure that we're giving kids solid options, and frankly, that we're getting enough kids into these opportunities that exist? Where's the collaboration and what can we do?
I think one of the first things we can do is just really expose kids to the opportunities locally. Educators should be working with the business communities in their areas. And also a major trend now is something called work-based learning. So that continues to evolve from when the 3 of us were in school. But businesses right now need qualified workers. We need students that can work in teams, that have experiences, that have project management, and have that so-called soft skills. We've migrated now to a situation where those team-based skills are just critically important, and something that we need to ingrain even further at the K-12 level, within reason, within the age-appropriate curriculum.
From a school standpoint, what can you look for collaboration from the business community to make sure you understand the needs?
Right. Well, we do try to find those work-based learning experiences for our students as much as possible. And oftentimes it is the school counselor in the building that will organize things like career fairs, the traditional things that we're all used to. But now there's also job shadowing, internships, like there's more focus on getting them into the job place to see, what are the requirements of that job? What does a typical day look like? I think too, many students are realizing that there are many paths to get to a certain career, that nobody just has a straight path, and sometimes you come into a career once you start something and you come into it from somewhere else. And so it helps for my students to talk to people in positions that they want to and ask them, how did you find this job? How did you come into this? How did you get the training for this job? And it's very different everywhere. So,
For both of you, is technology changing what the demands are, what the skills are? Is that really as aggressively reshaping this conversation as we think it might be with AI? I mean, are you seeing that from the high school standpoint?
I would say so, but I would say from the standpoint of the soft skills that you were talking about, now that students are so engrossed in technology, they are losing some of those soft skills. So technology is affecting them in ways that now we have to talk about, okay, how do you work together? How do you work in a team? And so it's even within the classroom, it's having students work together on projects just so they can learn those skills, because those skills are not as strong as they used to be because of technology use.
Same question, David, for you, technology. I mean, AT&T is a tech company. So.
We are a tech company. I knew we were going to be talking about this for the session, so of course, what did I do? I asked AI, what does a career pipeline look like in new technology with AI? And I analyzed the answer, and it was very similar to what I expected. There are some tweaks there, but we and students need to learn how to work alongside AI. We as employees in our companies now do, and students in the future need to learn how to work beside AI, know its limitations, know how it can be beneficial, and it is super beneficial. So, we have to be, and students are embracing this right now. So this is really the need for us, is to the next generation coming in understand technology. So, with a little seasoning, if you will, and some experience, they can be very, very beneficial. But work alongside AI. And the other thing that AI said when I framed that question to them was adaptability. I mean, that is a huge skill right now, in addition to the soft skills that we talked about. You have to be adaptable. But AI is a great tool, but there's still the personal aspect of it, and that is really what we need our school systems to continue to develop amongst students.
If I hear you correctly, the jobs are there.
The jobs are there.
The jobs
Absolutely.
are there. It's the skill sets that you need. You
Right.
need more kids interested in it.
We need the skill sets. Again, back to AI, we're going to be, your students and employees of the future are going to be hired based on their abilities, less so their qualifications and more on the abilities, back to what Amelia was saying there too. So the jobs are there. They have to be matched with the students, and the students, we need students that are engaged and have an understanding, and that's incumbent upon the business community as well.
We have a little bit of time left. Strange question, but if you could be, we'll call it governor for a day, legislature for a day, if you could wave a magic wand, what would each of you look to do that would really change the skills, the policies? What could you do? What would you want to do in your one day to be able to really make sure that this is an area that we're successful in? Amelia, to you.
Well, I think in education, the institution has been around so long, and when you talked about adaptability, that's something that education we are struggling to do that. So I think I would try to make education more innovative, provide students with more opportunities to go out into the workforce rather than just sitting in the classroom all day, providing more experiences for them in order to better prepare them for the future and what's to come after they graduate. Yeah.
I would agree with that. More work-based learning opportunities, more project management opportunities, more mentorship opportunities for employees. I know employees at AT&T at our company, we're very interested in volunteering, and we do a good job of that, but I think there's more opportunities there. The education system I'm not an expert in, but can be a little rigid. Employers and people in the communities have that opportunity as well. So I just think, working together, business and education, is going to be how we best prepare future communities.
Final word from each of you, career pipeline. what's next? If you're giving advice to your fellow businesses in Pennsylvania, what's next? What can they be doing? We've talked about AT&T. How do you get the entire business community to greater collaborate with education?
I would say don't be afraid of the four walls in the school buildings out there. Engage with your school leadership, and hopefully it's a two-way street. Think about if you're a school and you draw a concentric 1 mile or 2 mile circle around the school. Do the schools really know even what the businesses are around there? And there's a lot of opportunities there. So let's get past the walls of the school building and the walls of the business and break those walls down and work together.
And Amelia, students, we're talking about shortages in the number of students that want to go into these sorts of things. AT&T has the jobs, they just need the skills. How do we get more kids interested? How do we better fill that pipeline?
Well, it does start with awareness. If they're not aware of the jobs or what the jobs entail, then they won't pursue those jobs because they don't even know that they exist. So, increasing the awareness, like you said, bringing in businesses into the schools and as far as career speakers, career fairs, or anything like that, mentoring, any of those things, and creating opportunities for students to not only become more aware of these jobs that are out there, but also to help to prepare them for those jobs.
We are all lifelong learners.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just K-12, K-16. In the new economy, we are all lifelong learners. We're learning every day.
Mm-hmm.
Great way to end it. Thank you both, David, Amelia. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellence isn't just a goal, it's a standard. The Great PA Schools GPS designation honors Pennsylvania public schools that go above and beyond, where rigorous academics, strong community ties, financial responsibility, and resilience come together. Today, we're highlighting one of our GPS ribbon recipients, Central York School District. Central York School District serves over 5,800 students across 7 schools, a cyber academy, and an educational service center supported by more than 700 staff. The district is part of a vibrant community of 40,000 residents. Central York offers a high-quality academic experience in a collaborative and supportive environment. It's ranked number 2 in York County and home to the number 1 public high school, according to niche.com. The music department has earned national honors for 19 consecutive years. Elementary Panthers explore core subjects like math, science, reading, writing, social studies, and specials including music, art, library, and physical education. Middle and high school Panthers experience rigorous academics and a wide range of opportunities, including 23 varsity sports, award-winning theater, music ensembles, and clubs that support diverse interests and community involvement. We're looking for the next great Pennsylvania school district. Visit greatpaschools.com to share your success story or apply for the GPS ribbon.
Thanks for tuning in to the Keystone Education Report. Today's episode explored Pennsylvania's career pipeline. We examined how students are being guided towards high-demand career through education, training, and real-world experiences. Join us next time as we continue to explore the challenges and the opportunities shaping public education across the Commonwealth.
Missed the latest episode? No problem. View last month's episode and read more about the Keystone Education Report at psba.org/keystone-education-report. Whether you're a school leader, policymaker, or passionate advocate, the Keystone Education Report keeps you connected to what matters most in public education.